Hello and good morning to the welcome to the live development stream of git-python. It's Byron speaking, and today I hope I will finish all the remaining tickets here because there's not so much more left to do. Yeah, here we go. So it's all relatively straightforward, and it's basically just this and that. Whereas that one, if necessary, we'll just proceed, even though I hope to get feedback saying, hey, it works now. Let's see, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. So that one here is the last major one because it involves submodules in some way, and they have been proven pretty nasty sometimes just because it's a complex thing. Most of the time I kind of didn't get it right because I was having a different state in my mind. I forget to do something, you have to really in your sandbox here, in your test sandbox, you have to really be sure you understand what's going on in your repositories to be able to estimate how the code should behave and to verify it. But you've fixed a lot of bugs yesterday, and I'm quite proud of myself to be at this state. Yeah, I'm happy. It's definitely better than before. There's no question about it. And yes, let's have a look. When the submodule update detects a branch change, it seems that it tries to remove the branch it has checked out before switching to the new branch, which obviously fails as the currently checked out branch cannot be deleted. Apparently it tries to clean up without noticing that it tries to clean up its own branch. It seems to make incorrect assumptions. Additionally, it should have fetched or updated the submodule before trying to do anything with the path, as this can trigger new branches to come in and that you want to switch to subsequently. To make things crazier, if you try to help it to get along, it will manage to delete its source branch, but as it still sees the change and tries to switch to the new branch, it will do all the wrong things to try to work with a non-existing branch, the one it deleted itself. Changing branch of submodule shotgun 0.9 from revseds 09 to revseds custom gives you a git command or a git sherry. Oh, that's good because that kind of points to the exact code portion where it is. Return access touches 1 to 8, unknown commit 09. It seems to help if the to latest revision flag is given. However, I would expect it to be clearer when it tries to do what? The -n flag, the dry run flag basically, might help here as well. So I'm referring to pygit submodule or pgit submodule, which uses the git-python implementation of submodules to do that. And yeah, that's actually a complex one, as we have to set up the sandbox to test that first, but that certainly should work. So I guess what we have to do is we have to introduce a new branch in the remote repository and then change our submodule to that branch, kind of by changing the configuration, and then do a submodule update. And that should do all the wrong things, I suppose. First of all, let's have a look at the implementation here. So here is this one, and where do we remove things? We remove submodules entirely, but we don't remove branches. Do we do a cherry pick here? Here we do a cherry pick. Do we do that here as well? Yes, we do. So the cherry pick issue could arise in both cases. Let's see if we remove a branch at some point. Remove blah blah blah, lots of removals here. But apparently we don't remove a ref. At least I didn't see. I probably have to look into that a bit more precisely. And I should probably turn off all the notifications here. Just a second. There we are. Good. I believe I've seen this somewhere, and maybe even in the root implementation, scene that I delete. Just one more second here. First session in the morning. So now I believe I at some point possibly delete a branch, even though I wonder why we do that. RMT for deletion. If we didn't find a matching remote but have exactly one, we can safely use it. Use this one. Yeah. Here we delete a remote. Okay, let's search for delete. Here we delete a branch. Awesome. So handle path changes. And if not, we can delete it. Okay. So here we delete a branch. Here we delete a remote. This is something I think that's fine. That's just if a new remote comes in, possibly. I mean, I have to probably check that. And here we don't delete anything that is related to branches. So apparently our issue arises from the root submodule implementation. Okay, the next thing would be to the next thing would be to make a setup here, and I guess I will just start fresh. And do I have my submodule URL? Yeah, that's the smallest repository I can find to kind of generate real life submodule setups. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's start out with the read-write repository. Test branch renames, because it apparently doesn't. I mean, I'm sure I'm testing for this, but maybe I'm not really testing for this, or something else happens, you know. I will try to reproduce this issue first. That's the first thing to start with here. All right, let's clone this repository somewhere, which is the submodule source. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, first let's create the parent repository, because we kind of want to manipulate the source repository, or the submodule source repository, after we've added it and checked it out in the parent repository. Git repo init. So let's make this rw dir parent as usual. Then we say parent create submodule. So that works now that the parent may be empty. That's very comfortable, I must say. Comforting and comfortable. So what do we do? I think we do path subdir submodule, and then we put the URL. Well, to do that, I think we should clone that one first, just to have our own read-write copy. Source is git repo. Clone from. Source URL, where should it go? I'm always kind of forgetting the I'm unsure about the signature. Yeah, that's intuitive at least. Source URL, then the path to it. Let's do parent directory and then sm source, like that. Good, that should be it. Now we can clone the source from sm source working tree dir as a start. All right, so we fetch an initial set of things. We are recent, we are latest. Now we do the commit and have a valid submodule here. Valid submodule, thank you very much. and an update should just do nothing. A quick assertion that I definitely expect to work. Okay, let's run this. Test branch renames. So far, this seems quite all right. There we are. Oh, interesting. The last test I ran, I didn't even look at it, failed because of some good daemon hiccup. Yeah, okay, that's usually good daemon is down and doesn't give you anything anymore or something along those lines. That's what happened here. Anyway, that is something I can't fix really unless I don't know. It's a timing thing related to sockets still being open on the system, and I don't know, something a bit odd. Basically, I think what happens is that it can't bring up the git daemon quick enough. Sometimes the socket is still in use even though the process is not using it anymore because it's down, and then new processes kind of fail to launch, and yeah, but that would trigger another error, I suppose. But yeah, maybe an existing process, it's on its way down or something. Yeah, I might figure that one out at some point, but it's spurious once again. All right, anyway, let's test the submodule -m test branch renames. Submodule checkout path. Parent needs to be within the parent. That is true. So I am doing this all wrong. Create submodule. I think it starts with the URL here, huh? Submodule add name and path and URL. Well, my submodule, well, my submodule here and the working here, now that should work. Nice. Thank you very much. Now that I'm here, by the way, I think I just want to go into my massive test folder. Well, is it massive? Yeah, kind of. Delete all these temp guys. 271. Yeah, actually I only want to hit the directories, not the other things. But maybe it's all the same. What's in there, by the way? Is it my stuff? Could be my stuff. RPS, HPP. No. It's probably something an editor creates. Well, anyway. Let's clean up. Wow, that takes astonishingly long, probably lots of files. I mean, I'm on a fast SSD here. Good. It's more like it. All right. By the way, now that I'm here, do we leak files or directories while running the test 874? I mean, this one shouldn't leak anything, but let's just call it like this. Just once. I've never did this test. Just for my own, my own safety here. We don't want to leak stuff. Doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things, but you know, unless a test fails, we are not supposed to leave any trace behind in the temp directory. So let's hope no test fails then, huh? which can happen if the git daemon doesn't work as we want it to. All right. So now the next thing is to set up a branch change. And actually what we want to do is we want to set a branch here, just set it to master so that we can then change it later on. So that's important because it will, when checking out the submodule, it will actually set up a tracking branch here so that you can then say, okay, I want to update this guy to the latest revision. And that's what we want to try as well. Good. So branch is master. We just have to specify it. If it's none, then no tracking will be set up. Yeah, that's also part of the documentation here. Good. So that shall be better. And now I think the first thing is that we add some new branch and yeah, just a new commit for the fun of it. Create head feature. Let's call it a feature branch. Let's be very specific. Oh, well, no, we don't. Feature branch is enough. Submodule feature branch. We should be able to check it out like that. I'm not quite sure about the API here, but I will just try it. So we'll point to it and then we will just prepare a new commit with some nonsense change. Like a new file. Do we have touch? I think we do. So it's sm source working tree dir. By the way, does touch return the path? I think it should. No. See? Now it does. This will make it much easier to use. So nsm file shall be touch that. So hey, how come? How come that it lit up? Oh, because I'm not actually using it. Fair enough. Good. Shall use it here though, because I will add it. I will add it to the index. As a source, maybe I should call it repo or something, but I'm not in the habit apparently. Parent and repo. Yeah. SM repo, parent repo. Let's do it like that. It's kind of the source repo implicitly. Parent repo. Yeah, the worst thing is if you kind of get confused about the types of your symbols here and do the wrong things with them. SM repo. I should probably find and replace, but I'm always afraid because I never really managed to get find and replace nicely working, and call me stupid, nicely working in Sublime Text with a selection, you know? It kind of doesn't work for me, or I don't do it right. In JEdit I did that all the time. Here I do not. So SM repo index add new file, that shall be it. Then we shall commit our recently changed index. Edit new file, awesome. Yeah, it's always a good idea to put these quotation marks around just in case you have some tick action going on. Good. That should be it. Now we should have a new commit in this branch. And the next thing would be to update our submodule to point to a different branch. So how do we do that? I think we just write the configuration accordingly. So it's yeah, we can do it from here. Config writer, that will be a config writer to the git modules file in the parent repository. And then, yeah, I just keep the writer. sm config writer. sm config writer set value, just the path. Oh no, wait, the branch. And we put the branch to, yeah, let's use just the actual branch name, and we should be able to pass any object and it will be converted to a string. So as fb, the feature branch, submodule feature branch, that's what we want to point to now. And this will automatically be written but not committed, so we have to make a commit now. Sm repo index commit. By the way, let's verify, assert that we have a dirty index. Repo is dirty, index is true, working tree we are not interested in. Actually, yeah, can't really, you know, this kind of implies that, okay, working tree is not supposed to be dirty, but it's actually meaning that the working tree is not supposed to be checked for dirtiness at all, because it also shouldn't be dirty. But yeah, I trust it not to be if the index is true. So let's commit that. Changed submodule branch. The cool thing is that now with the commit, we have a change that submodule update can pick up. So if I now say submodule update, let's check the options here. I think the default option should just be fine. So this should now trigger kind of the bug we ran into, possibly. If not, we will have a look. Oh look, that worked. And now I can finish up this test. 874, 882, oh no, so we are spamming. We are spamming indeed, man. Do we leave some temp directories? We do leave some temp files and some temp directories. And what is in there? Or something else in the meanwhile wrote these guys. Oh yeah, it's probably my editor which does create these temp files for me. All right. What's the temp dir all about? So is that mine? Temp 7 blah. Possibly. It shouldn't be, because I delete these things and they're empty too. Nothing in there. Absolutely nothing in there. Well, fair enough. Good. So maybe that's some artifacts of Sublime Text, or some plugin in Sublime Text. Yeah. So I just assume that git-python is clean in that regard. And move swiftly on with this test branch rename. Alright, didn't find remote branch in any of the given remotes. Feature, find where's remote branch. That's interesting. Good. Didn't find remote branch. So let's see if we can improve that error message to tell better what it tried to do. Alright, we are at least in 304. Sorry, we are at least in 804. And Yeah, let's put an assertion here, because at least the submodule head, you know, before that, SM module head name is master, and now the head name is SMFB name. And let's not forget to assert for this. Otherwise the statement would have no effect, no matter if it's true or false. SMFB name. So that's, sorry, like so. So let's see if the precondition works at least. Probably it's something else then, like a long name could be. Head, I think it's head ref, yeah, name. Good. Makes sense because head, you know, we just don't capitalize it. It's indeed a symbolic reference, always, because it points to our capitalized head symbol ref, symbolic ref. And so here we do the same. But yeah, I guess this will fail at the same spot. And I think I just wanna jump in there and have a look. We are in submodule util, find first remote branch triggered by 297 root. Oops, here we are. 297. Handle past changes, here we are. TBR, let's go up. So that's the feature branch. We have created it locally, I assume. SMM is our module. That's where we have the submodule checkout. That's the repository. We have created a new branch for it. Yep, that's it. And now we don't do the right thing. So we are creating the local head here, or we use an existing one, and then we try to do the tracking, but we are unable. Submodule util, find first remote branch, and now we try to find a remote that has the given branch name, and that fails. Didn't find remote branch. In any of the given remotes. In repo, well, it could be several different ones, I suppose. Any of the different remotes, should we print them? Probably not, just branch names here. And probably that should be done as well, unless invalid git repository error. Does it do that automatically, the message here? I don't know. Will not set. I should also look at this. I think that message is not relevant anymore. No. Yeah, I probably deleted some code there, and Yeah, that's not necessary anymore here. Nice. That's how it happens sometimes. You know, you just delete stuff, you're stupid and don't think about things, don't look at the context of the code, and then, well, I like the term, obviously, artifacts remain that shouldn't be there. Well, thank us, we have removed that one. Yeah, so the issue here is that obviously we didn't fetch beforehand. And why is that? Let me just put this here, seems more natural. So the reason this is the case is that we start out with the root submodule implementation, which, well, no wait, are we already in a first, yeah, we are already, where are we? Submodule update repo base we are. Why are we there? Test branch renames, assert parent repo submodule update. I would actually expect to be in maybe I'm reading this wrong. Oh yeah, I'm totally reading this wrong. We are on repo base. That's fine. So here we are actually in the first root update invocation here. And how does that work then? I think this one just creates a new root module, which is kind of special. And this one should then, I mean, the update should then kind of, yeah, it checks itself for submodules. It considers itself being the root submodule, that's okay. The parent basically, that starts out with, yeah, I don't know. I mean, now we kind of get into the trouble that the code that fetches things is further down. It's actually done here in the submodule base implementation of update. And the code that does the diffing is here. And these things are actually quite unrelated. And you can obviously just call the normal update procedure here on the root repository if you like to do that. But yeah, it's not happening. And I wonder if these two guys could be merged, possibly. But probably not, because they have different purposes. I mean, there's a reason these are separate. Yeah, long story short, I have to figure out if I wanna actually fetch my remotes here in order to get that remote tracking branch that I require so desperately. And I guess I do have to do that. And fetch is, you know, it's safe. I have to though. So for all the remotes, first do a fetch. As the branch might not exist yet, we will have to fetch all remotes to be sure. For remote in SMMR submodule remotes, I suppose. Remote fetch, thank you. That's it. Anything we should do here? No. Oh wait, maybe we have a progress that is compatible that we should pass. Is this a special progress or is this one of our default progress instances? Progress, I think it's one of our default progress instances. Root update process. C. So I think that one can handle, yeah, this one can handle these messages like so. So here we do a fetch. In base we can possibly do a fetch too, and we hand over the process as well. Okay, that's cool. I like to have real-time feedback through delegates, which is this process instance, because that way you can really drive basically user interfaces with that. And if you wouldn't have it, you can just block and kind of wait for the results. So it's always, I like a streaming approach where you do basically lots of small operations to finally finish a large one, using smaller amounts of memory, obviously, because you kind of look at parts of the whole thing at best. So yeah, delegation is one way to do this, of course. So let's fetch here, and now this should work. We set our local branch to the given tracking branch, and then figure out whether the previous tracking branch contains new commits compared to the other one. If so, we can delete it. Oh wait, so PSM. What is PSM? That's the previous branch. And this deletion thing is something I don't know why I would want to do this, because it might, if it's managed by us, which we don't know, we should delete it, of course, but as long as we don't know, we cannot really, can we? Figure out whether the previous tracking branch contains new commits compared to the other one. PSM. Okay, find first remote in the submodule remotes that matches the old name, and then we check if it contains new things. If not, then we will delete it. I'm not sure about this. I will take out this guy and see if our test is still working, if we're actually testing for that particular case. If not, I think we should be good. One failure could be our new test. It is our new test. Okay, so remove this entire part. I don't want to delete these branches. We should deal with them being in existence though. All checkout is done in the base implementation update. Okay, that's a good note, and it's just the truth. All right, and here we just realized that the ref name still is not the one we want. Here we created the branch, but we didn't check it out, because all checkout is done in the base implementation of the update, which apparently didn't happen. But why? Now that we don't delete this branch anymore, we actually don't try to delete a branch that we are still on, so this should fix the issue we've seen previously, but the checkout doesn't happen. And the checkout would happen if it would realize that there are new commits. I think it will happen if we do latest revision, yes. That's a thing. And it's something I mentioned here as well. Latest revision. Yes, try to type. Okay. So let's assert for this. SM mod is this one, and it's actually submodule mod, submodule repo, SM repo, but we have that already, so let's call it like that. SM mod, as a mod, so I'm just copy pasting stuff here, so that should still be, yeah, that's obvious. Well, maybe initial checkout was is master. Should be. Yeah, it's kind of saying what you read here, so I'm not sure if this is any improvement at all. These comments have to be maintained as well. But here I think here is something useful we can write. A checkout is not triggered unless to latest revision is given, as there is no yeah, commit change basically. Anyway, so that's depending on to latest revision is true, and now I would expect this to be the case. Let's see if he will still pick it up, but I think so. So possibly this works now. Yeah. All right. Let's see if, I mean, maybe it kind of doesn't get picked up the second time, which also is kind of a bug, or would be kind of a bug. Let's try that. So now we should, okay, so it doesn't make a difference, which is good. How do we, I mean, we don't really care, right? We don't really change our branch. We have to check it out here. We create, I mean, where do we create the head? We create the head at the, yeah, we create it at our current checkout location, which is fine. And I think we should check it out here, because otherwise the switch doesn't happen ever. Yeah, we have to check it out. And we can only do so if it's safe to do so. So here we have a lot of checking going on for the checkout or for the reset. May reset. So either we check out a hex SHA or we reset the head to a hex SHA. We won't reset the head to a hex SHA. We just basically switch to another branch. So that is safe inherently, because nothing. No, wait. I have to think for a moment, because we wanna. Yeah, I think it handles this automatically, so we should just check out something, but this of course will change our working tree unless we say it shouldn't, which could be dangerous if the working tree is empty. Therefore we have to do some checking here. Fair enough. Even though, I mean, this new branch, if it's in our past, the checkout does no harm. So that's something we should check for, because we will effectively keep. No, wait, our current. No, wait, exactly. We don't have to check anything here, because our current head points to the current location anyway. And if we check out to that one, we should just be sure that we don't update the working tree or anything. We just want to switch to this new branch so that resets can happen in the submodule implementation. All head resetting maybe is done in the base implementation update. But we will have to check out the new. Do I do this checkout here somewhere at least? No. You will have to check out the new branch, which with the new branch here, as it still points to the previous or to the currently checked out commit. We don't do any harm. Actually, we just changed references here. So I should be able to set this in the symbolic reference set reference. Yeah, that's the one. There might be even some better syntax for it, like property. Yeah, I can just assign the reference here. Good. So let's do this. As we don't want to update update working tree or index, changing the ref is all there is to do, which is awesome. So we have the SMM take its head reference and set it to our new tracking branch that we have just created. Awesome. So now the branch will be switched. No, wait, actually, you know, I should keep the commit as well, I guess, because now the branch will be switched nonetheless, but the commit will change, obviously. And that's something we should check for. To latest revision. Okay. Previous commit is sm mod commit. So this is master. This is now actually the right thing. Something you would expect. I mean, I should have realized that the logic here is a bit odd, but yeah, that was the previous code that did it like that, and I kind of tested for the incorrect behavior. But good to know that we improved that too while we were at it. Let's check for the new name. Let's also check for the commit still being the same without to latest revision. We don't change the commit. So that's a bit odd, because we could possibly point, you know, if this new commit is a totally different branch that points to something very else that is not in the history of, I mean, basically if our old branch that we pointed to is not in the history of the new branch that we created and the respective tracking branch, the situation that we are in here is a bit odd. And that's really the thing. So I'm thinking I should check for that too by creating a branch, a new branch that is in the past of our current checkout. Yeah, I will do that. That's so sure. Then we'll see how it's being handled, because I think if it's somewhere very else, like in our past, then the checkout should be done. Well, what should happen? Even the to latest revision thing should not be, it should not count basically. And yeah, I should just point it somewhere else. Yeah, I have to look this up real quick. I have to know. I will definitely test for this nonetheless. Maybe we put some notes here. Create feature branch with one new commit in submodule source. Then we change designated submodule checkouts branch to the new upstream feature. branch. Verify submodule update with feature branch that leaves currently checked out branch in its past. That is important. Okay, so that should still point to the previous commit if update to latest revision is not set, and if we do it, then this should point to the latest revision. It should actually point to the same revision as our submodule branch points to as mfb commit. That should be possible. So that could already work. Commit is not callable, yes. And that's a bit C. It's actually quite good. We verified everything, that's consistent so far. So let's create a feature branch that is not in our past. Or let's say that is in the past of everything we know. Create feature, and I shall also dirty, well, should I dirty the repository? I think I should, just to verify we don't make changes. And the dirtiness, if it's in our past, then we would kind of forget, or if it's not in our past, the commit that the new branch points to, we would definitely possibly forget commits. There's no doubt about that. Either relative to our current tracking branch or just in general. And we could possibly overwrite changes during the, working tree changes or dirty indices during the commit, during the reset that now would have to be done. So the thing is, I know that the code that we currently have will handle this. It will handle it gracefully. But I'm thinking that this this reference here, this reference change, this kind of makes not too much sense anymore if the branches are like unrelated. Of the commits they point to are unrelated. Because then we will end up pointing to something that is unrelated to the branch that we are supposed to point to. Unless, is it related to latest revision? I mean, first we check where we point to, and this is something we never really change. I mean, this is handled, and if that is not kind of the determining factor, then to latest revision is. And to latest revision just means keep up with the tracking branch, right? And keep up with the tracking branch is something you have to specify and that is handled appropriately now. For both cases, like, okay, it's in our past, or we are in the tracking branch's past, or we are not in its past and it's totally unrelated. But I think we should test for this, because our code with the merge base here could possibly fail there. And I want to know. So let's do this. Yeah, let's just do this. I think that code is, after all, fine. I mean, logically fine, logically sound to me right now. At least I'm recording this, so if anytime in the future I think I was stupid, I can at least review my video here and think, that's what I thought. Well, that was a silly mistake of yours. You're still stupid, young Sebastian. Fair enough. So let's do this. create new branch which is in our past and thus unrelated, and thus seemingly, I mean, we are basically rewriting history here, seemingly unrelated to the currently checked out one. To make it even harder, we shall fork and create a new commit. Yes, that's what we will do. And do so right away, like so. Sm repo create head. Let's have a look. I don't know the options here. Probably it's just passed on anyway. Ah, there we go. That's good enough. Create head. That's the name. The path is the name. Past feature, which should be at, yeah, commit is head minus 20 something, 20 parents backwards in time. SMP feature branch, previous feature branch is that. Yeah, we'll just check out that guy. Oh, does that create? I think we might do it wrong here because we have to check that one out on our symbolic head here. Yes, because that might create a detached head, actually, possibly. How does that work? I think I should go through symbolic here, should I? Do I have a checkout method? No, I should know. I should definitely know. So how's that implemented? Index base refs head. Okay, so is this our head reference? That's just a normal head. It's not the head symbolic reference, which is a symbolic reference. Reset our head to the given commit. That is a reset indeed. So the checkout. Ah, okay, it does it like that. I was wondering, how do we handle the head commit if you don't know it, and you know what the heck's going on? Are we kind of implicitly doing it? Yeah, we just do it with the git command. Fine, fair enough. It's the fastest, I guess. So we can do this safely. That will be what we need. We check it out. We check it out and shall add a new file. We could do it all at once now. sm repo index add touch. Yeah, I don't like to use OS path join. Seems cumbersome, and damn, I know I can shorten this if I want to, but yeah, I don't like this API very much. I have projects that have their own implementations for path types that allow much nicer handling of path, but I don't have it here. I'm always a bit depressed when I realize how much I miss this. All right, enough of talking, more writing. It's the same thing. Working tree, dir, another. Well, actually, it's not another new file. It's kind of a new file. because in the past it doesn't exist. There we go. That works. SM repo index commit, new file added to past of this feature branch. SMFB. Definitely so. Awesome. Now that this is done, we shall change to that particular branch. Checkout branch. Right. I think I will be lazy here and very, very carefully review this code. So we have a config writer. Do we have that? Yeah, okay, that's just something we created. Previous feature branch. Then we check if it's dirty. That's something we don't do right now because it's working. If it works up there, it works here. And then, yeah, we commit this one. What is, oh yeah, that, okay. You know, easy to confuse that stuff now. Let's call it SM source repo, shall we? How many times do I use this? Oh man. Let's use full, how is the shortcut again? Whole word. Okay, do we only have it here? Yes, so I shall rename this to SM source repo. Please, I am confused otherwise. And that should be the only spot where it was changed. There was a dot here somewhere. Where was it? There. But that's alright, I guess. Yeah. Didn't look like it jumped up there, so should be fine. Changed to new submodule branch, alright. Expect this to be correct, and now we do the updating. Just submodule updates. And I think without force it shouldn't work. So parent repo submodule update, this should definitely fail. And yeah, let's just see how it fails, because I think it will fail. It doesn't. Why does it not fail? Because we didn't say to latest revision, maybe? Which is why it didn't even bother. Yeah, to latest revision. And I will test for all of this, just to be sure we get this right. So now it should fail. Oh, it doesn't. So what's the matter? Well, whoa, that is odd. Can you tell me what you... No log capture. Yeah, I think if you do this, you also have to set up some logger here. Test, debug, no path adjustments, traverse, blah blah, come on. Where is it? Logging clear handlers, logging log level. I think that's what you also want with debug. What? Maybe like that. Nope. Maybe it has to fail then. Come on, I just wanted to print the log stuff as it gets it. Logging level. Clear all other logging handlers. Wow. Logging filter, logging format, no log capture. Disable logging capture plugin. Logging configuration will be left intact. Yeah, okay, I don't do any logging configuration. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should clear handlers just to have the default handlers maybe. I don't know how it does it. Let's try. Let's do no log capture and then clear handlers, and it doesn't work. Yeah, so we would have to do a basic config ourselves here to do this, and I say why not? Basic config, how was that called? Was it called like that? Import logging basic config. It was. Let's, just quick and dirty for now, just to see if that works. Hey. This is being executed, is it? All right. Logging level, clear handlers, doesn't care. Okay, man, then it is what it is. I always had my fun with logging, even though I thought by now I've kind of have understood it to the point that I know, okay, you have to set up the handlers accordingly and the basic config usually works, but apparently not in conjunction with nose, or it prints nothing. Maybe I should check this before I say it doesn't work. Git test init. Let's print something for sure. Okay, I like to type that apparently. Basic config. No. Camel case all of a sudden. Yeah. That was before PEP 8, I suppose, and everyone did it as he wanted and nobody cared. It's so bad, so bad. Who cares if you use camel case or not, as long as you do it consistently? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, well, Python, that's how it is. Anyway, let's log something. Do I have a logger here? Nope. I will soon have. Logging info hi. Logging debug ho. Nope. Nope. Nothing going on here. Okay then. I tried. Good. Back to the problem at hand. Issue we have is that something here should fail, because we are changing to a branch that is somewhere very else, and we should make it reset, but it doesn't, doesn't fail. So we will fail for him and jump right in. So I have the feeling it doesn't really recognize that it is in the past, which kind of points at a bug that I was suspecting with merge base. It should be one of the two here. That's the thing. And we just compare it against one of the two and assume, okay, then it's probably in the future or something, and something we should definitely have a look at right now. PDB failure. ODB failure is also interesting. Object database. Again, type it correctly. So let's go there. So that is expected. And here we should change our branch to change submodule branch. Can I write something else here? Like, see, this is why you put comments in quotation marks. To smfb to, yeah, so copy paste it, shitty stuff as usual. SMPFB. Okay, so I did that. Let's check. So we are here at branch past feature. Let's see what we have checked out, shall we? That is going to be the interesting part. Subdir submodule. It's on past feature. And it has checked out new file added to bast. And it has checked out the new thing without bothering. Why? Oh yeah, true, we don't have a change. We should have a change in our module, right? In order to prevent that from happening. Like untracked files. Let's just touch a file in there. Must fail if submodule is dirty. Otherwise, we don't actually care. So let's dirty the submodule. smmod. Yeah, let's touch something here. That should already be enough because we do check for that. Working tree deer and uncommitted file, unstaged it is, unstaged file. All right, and of course you want to join that stuff like so, and now this should fail already. Do it. There we go. Repository dirty error. And this might actually not fail. Let's see. Yes, awesome. That is the case. This, however, will have changed. Yeah, I mean, I will check for this here. So we should still be at the same commit, but at the new branch name, right? smmod commit is smfb commit, should still be here. Head wasn't reset, and smmod head ref should be ref name should be the new one, smpfb name should have been switched to new head, to past head. I don't want to call it new past head because I guess that wouldn't help either. Maybe in conjunction with the code this comment actually makes sense. Good, so that also means that we should have a repository dirty error if we try that with that option on. Parent repo submodule update to latest revision is true. That should be the case, unless I force reset, then it will work. Parent repo submodule update to latest revision should be true. Force reset is also true. And then smmod commit points to sm previous feature branch commit, because now we have been reset to that one. Obviously we are still pointing to the same branch. I just test this for, I don't know, because I'm paranoid sometimes, but it's definitely a condition, right? Like so. Now that should have been reset. All right, terrific. So yeah, that does work. So this code is actually good enough to figure that out, the merge base code. So maybe we could use merge base instead of cherry pick, but I'd rather not change the existing thing, because cherry pick probably is good enough for what we want to do, even though it possibly is slower. Okay, let's reread. When submit detects a branch change, it basically removes its own branch and blah, and has issues. We could reproduce this, and yeah, I think we are good in that regard. I believe that should work. Let's do all the testing. Let's run all the tests, and let's run flake if we are in git-python, that is, and fix it. So it must be something, right? Come on. Yeah, not too many issues though. Test submodule, too many characters in line, 788. Here we are. Yeah, how does that always happen? I just don't notice that. I mean, good to have flake then, huh? But yeah, kind of happens. Trailing white space, 833, here, what? Yeah, now it's here. And there we go. There was an error. Maybe a spurious one. Where's my flag 8 test? Oh, I switched the wrong shell here. Damn. Let's try again. 788, trailing white space. I've just been there. Awesome. Good, that will work now. List index out of range, assert, push and pull. That's one of these. So flake is all right. Let's prepare the commit. Yes, yes. I like this one. That was quite straightforward. We have a nice new, relatively self-contained index that fits test case that fits one page. So it probably is not too complicated. It's annotated here and has little chunks of, hey, here we do this, here we do that. And you know, if you could fold this, like put it into actual scopes, then it would be even better, I think. But not in Python, I suppose. Maybe in another great language like Rust. And yeah, let's check these changes. No debug code contained. No, no, no. Some simplifications. And there we go. Fixes 49. Let's have a look at this guy. Ah, come on, you know, will you eventually just work? That's once again demon related. Damn it, just do it, man. So let's do pi3-4 in parallel here, just to be sure. All right. Sure that branch changes are properly handled. Previously, we could try to remove the branch we are on. Additionally, well, let's say, of course, we have a test case elaborate enough to verify we don't destroy changes in submodules accidentally. And that, yeah, accidentally. Therefore, I'm quite confident, that this implementation is correct. So Python 3. Honestly, can I reproduce this? Now, do I have to reproduce this? Maybe I have to. It's kind of... Oh, look at that. So that's a real error. Test branch renames. Value to string, set value, cursing to string, need bytes, byte array or buffer, head object found. Yeah, true. So probably all I should do here is to, where is it? To just convert this to string myself, or just provide the name here. Yeah, I'll just amend this. This guy. So let's use py34. There we go. That's just a minor thing. Set value. So we have this. I've done this twice. Name, or maybe path. Let's do path once and name another time, because both should work. Like so. Nice. Okay. Python 2.7, please, and Python 2.34, please. Let's amend this real quick. All right. So in theory, we're good. Fixes 49. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Looking forward to seeing this one closed. Just give me some reason to believe that we don't have some serious bug there in test submodule, which has kind of failed all the time now in the scope of the entire test suite, that is. Yeah. Running two test suites in parallel kind of could be dangerous with the git daemon and stuff, and I certainly don't trust it. But py34 looks pretty good now. So maybe, you know, this guy failed because py34 didn't fail, even though test branch renames, come on, this has been working like all the time. Let's go for test submodule in total. You know, I'm not going crazy over this. I'm just saying this works, and it's just some silly git daemon thing that is wrong, because we have to use git daemon to get the original output of it and parse that correctly. And that's really it. So see, I guess now it works because we kind of have our own exclusive git daemon and whatnot. So that is, yeah, we should probably set up the git daemon to be launched while we do the entire test suite. But that's a bit difficult to do. I mean, as long, you know, it would be great if this thing would just be there for us and be killed at the end. But do we have something like that? Nose test? Start test, tests begin callback. Nose test, twisted tools, how to trigger custom callback on test failure. Parallel testing. Oh yeah, that's also something we could try at some point. That could be cool. Actually, let's test it right now, independently of everything else. Let's do py34 because it has been nicer to us. Probably accidentally. So nose. Processes. Spread tests among these amount of processes. Because right now we take a minute here, and if we say 4 of these guys, processes, Oh, I'm curious. How long does it take and does it work? With the good daemon, possibly not, but maybe it does. And maybe you can make it so that we find a tear down or a startup method that is kind of called at the beginning of the entire test suite. Okay, timed out exception. What? Module finalized process? That is interesting. So does it mean we are not... I mean, it's doing submodule stuff with... sorry, multiprocessing. I thought... I mean, does it do it in a multi-threaded way? No. It should do it with multiple processors. 11 errors, always at the same spot. So our process communication goes all wrong. 560, do we have some global? I mean, we shouldn't use globals at all. Let's have a look at the implementation here. I don't think so, that would be terrifying. No, that's just constants and stuff. That's all right. That is interesting. So maybe, oh yeah, maybe it dies. No, if it dies out, we should notice that. So communicate gets a timeout. That is weird. So timeout exception in proc wait. Wait until? No. Well. How to make a cross-module? Yeah, it's all unrelated, I suppose. Anyway, you know what? It's okay. So that doesn't work for us. Question is if this points to some sort of bug, but even though, you know, if you don't use global or shared state, and if this guy uses multiple processes, h top, wow, it's busy. Knows, yeah, so it has multiple separate processes, so that should all be fine, unless something else goes wrong that I, well, maybe it's related to our limits, because we have, oh, descriptors, so we actually put that to kind of unlimited again, because I had tests that limited that a lot, and if that gets inherited, I don't know, maybe that causes issues in the process group that you will have, but apparently not. Good. I mean, that's kind of sad, you know. It would be good if that would work, because as you can see, it speeds up everything a lot. So where does that happen? In clone repo it happens. So clone repo doesn't work for us. Timed out exception. All right. Python submodule timed out exception. Maybe there's more. No. It's not. Unfortunately. That would be awesome. I would do this all the time. 15 seconds versus 4 versus a minute here. And it's always test ref parse, basically randomly when calling the git command. So let's see if it gets better if there are less processes running in parallel. Oh, there we go. 29. Timed out exceptions. Obtain log. What? What? Everything times out now. Like everything that is related to a mutex or something at some point, I guess. Or low-level primitives. Time sleep. Timed out exception. Tell me about it. Come on. Timeout occurs, unhandled exception. Is it the same thing in Python 3? Is it as bad, or is it just some Python 2 shit that happens? Could be. Timed out exception. Hey, it's not that one. It's timed out exception. It's not timeout error. Ah, come on. Does it mean it doesn't? Yeah. Timed out exception. Maybe I want to use for the search for this. Parallel testing with Selenium plus nose. Oh, look at that. Here we go. I'm trying to run functional tests in parallel with multi-process plugin. Gives me random timeout exceptions. Try running noses with the process timeout value set to something higher than your test would normally take. Ah, awesome. Hala, process timeout 120. Okay. You know, what the fuck? Why is this not high enough by default? I mean, high enough, that's relative, right? But I don't know if it's a second or something. Let's give it 10 seconds, right? And let's go 4 here. If that works, I will give you a thumbs up. It's amazing, you know, I didn't even bother looking into this and checking out the other process options yet. I was just like, fucking Python, you know, making all the wrong assumptions. It is still bad though, unless this takes even longer. So communicate shouldn't have this. Maybe things take longer now and I naturally get a... Okay, so that's coming from... Yeah, what's the timeout? Does it get propagated properly or not? Or what? So 120. Maybe it really takes too long. And the previous... Let's see. Look at that. I think these are timing out now. Oh, it worked. But it wasn't faster. Damn it. Not at all. What's wrong with you? I mean, just 15 seconds. Oh man. So that's not really improving anything. Apparently we are I/O bound here. Are we I/O bound? Or is it just not parallelizing the way you would think it is? Maybe that's the case. Maybe it just spawns one worker with a few things and then this kind of gets a timeout and it keeps distributing them to the one remaining worker. Yeah, but I'm digressing. So I think this gets a timeout now. And nonetheless, I should just push this and conclude this session with a great hooray. Submodules are back. I will definitely update pgit submodule with the latest features, like keep going. And maybe improve it a bit in that moment, just to be able to use it better. But only once the release was done, because I the new submodule features are will be in 0.3.6 only. Awesome, so that doesn't get faster at all. We are done here and are good. Thanks for watching and see you